What are we doing?
What are we doing? We're taking some video.
Oh.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. So
Shocker.
we're
crafters in a craft store.
I know. What are you looking at?
Sock yarn.
Sock yarn.
That we don't have in America.
Awesome.
At least my stores don't have this one in America.
Gerald has just discovered that Ontario has 13% sales tax. I didn't tell him that before he came up here. Sorry, but it's worth it. It's nice yarn.
Is everything 13% or is it just...
We'll get into the specifics off the video. It'll take me a few minutes to explain it. All right. Well, we'll see you in a minute. So I've been meaning to share this for a few weeks now. Crafty Kim noticed it in a short video I did probably a month ago now on a different channel, and she said, you know, you're a bit sneaky. I don't think you've ever shared that one, and she's probably right. I don't remember ever sharing this. This was one of the first kits that I ever stitched. It's a Bucilla kit, Bucilla, and as you can see, I finished it, one of the few pieces that I actually put my initials on back in 1999. So it was definitely a kit, and I think you can still find them on eBay. I think I've seen them on eBay. It's a Bucilla kit, and it was called Florentine Tiles. I'll pop the spelling up there. So yeah, this was one of the first kits that I ever did. One of the first cross-stitch kits that I ever did. So started it a long time ago. Probably bought it and then it sat there for a while, and then I picked away at it. Though, you know, I've stitched since I was, you know, 14 or 15. So it's possible that I bought this in my 20s. So it's probably not close to one of the first kits that I did, but I still think it's super pretty. And it just sits out here in my mudroom. It's one of those things that you walk past every day and you don't really notice it anymore. But it is awfully pretty. Backstitch there. That what is that? Azizi, when the actual picture it's in relief. It's not stitched. But actually that is that stitched? It is stitched. It's a white stitch. So forget everything I just said. Anyway, super pretty. And the colors in it I still like today. What do you know? So there you go. Thanks for asking, Kim. I was happy to share it today. Happy Monday, Flosstube. My name's Caroline. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. Thanks for stopping by for a visit. It is Monday, June 17th. I've got some personal stuff about the dog, all that kind of stuff that I'll talk about at the end of the podcast today. So I'll save the personal stuff for the end. And let's start with a giveaway. I put a little video clip in at the beginning of the winner of last week's landmark Tapestries and Charts giveaway, so generously donated by Claire of www.celtichobbies.com. Claire is offering a weekly giveaway for the next 5 weeks. So today is the start of week number 2 for the giveaway. And the winner of last week's giveaway, as you may have seen in the little clip, the YouTube random comment generator chose the comment from Stitchy Lion. So congratulations to you. I will try to find your comment on last week's video. I don't actually plug them in myself. I just put in the URL of the video, and then the program selects the comment that wins. So I have to actually go in and find your comment and comment on your comment so that you know you won if you don't watch this video. So I'll try to do that, but if you happen to catch this video before I get in touch with you, please feel free to send me an email, caroline@evertote.com, and then I can get your information as quickly as possible to Claire, who will get your your choice of one of the Tempesta Pillow Collections charts out to you. And I hope that you love stitching it. I really hope that you enjoy it. They're so much fun. Okay, so that leads me to this week's giveaway from Claire. This week, the chart up for offer is one of the ones from the Country Garden Pillows collection. Now I have my Tea Time in the Garden chart here. I thought maybe you might like to see. So that is, I have a, sorry, I know I'm gonna have to do some creative editing here. I have a bit of a tickle in my throat today, so I'm gonna have to edit out all the coughs and the clearings of the throat that are happening this morning. So, Tea Time in the Garden is the chart that I have from this collection. Here are the other 4 that are part of this collection. Sorry, 3. There are 4 total in the collection. Here's the one I have right there. So it's not 5, it's 4. However, the winner of this week's giveaway will be able to choose one of these 4 patterns as your prize. So let's keep this giveaway on YouTube here. So you're going to leave me a comment below this video with the word garden in your comment, and that's going to be my clue to search for your comment so that I know you're entered in the giveaway. So if you'd like a chance to be entered in the giveaway, the comment has to be here on this video, this particular video, and make sure the word garden is in your comment. And good luck. These patterns are so fabulous. I love them so much. So yeah, I've had the threads in this one, as you can see, crinkle crinkle. I have all of the DMC kitted up for this chart, and I just haven't started it yet. That's okay, it's all good. Eventually, it's not like it's gonna go bad like food or something, right? Anyway, okay, so because Monday, next giveaway, because it's Monday, a little bit of happy for our week. These giveaways happen on the Facebook group, Friday Off the Grid, and last week's chart that I had up for offer was a JBW Designs called the Anniversary Sampler. Just a small, sweet chart, and this one came with a charm, anniversary charm. It says happy anniversary on it. I had 24 comments on this post, and the random number generator chose comment number 17. So congratulations, Dorothy Hewen. I have already left you a comment on your comment from last week's giveaway, and if you could please send me your address, that would be great. I am a little behind in sending out the giveaways, as is totally normal with me and sending out giveaways. Because I do a weekly giveaway, they add up quite quickly. So I'm usually about 6 weeks behind. So if you haven't received your giveaway yet, don't worry, they are coming. I'm always a little slow because I tend to save them all up, and then I'll put it on my to-do list to take care of it, and then I'll do them all at once and send them all out together at the same time. So about 6 weeks behind. But they're coming, I promise. So congratulations, Dorothy. I hope you enjoy stitching your chart. So that leads me to new giveaway for today. I have a Lila Studio pattern up for grabs today. I'm having a hard time sending this one out into the world because I really like it. I really like it. However, I can't stitch all the things. I have too many patterns. I have too many things slated for giveaway. And if I kept every single one that I wanted to stitch, well, that's just not going to happen. So I'm going to release this out into the world because I know that someone out there will love it and stitch it. And think of me when you stitch it because I love it. Okay, so this is Verses for Stitchers. It is the second in a series of a contented stitcher. So Lila Studio, happiness is a contented stitcher. Isn't that the truth? Love it. Love it. Okay, so this is the chart up for grabs today. You do need to be on the Facebook group Friday Off the Grid. That is where these giveaways happen. Just leave me, when this video goes up tonight, I'll put a post up in the Facebook group with this picture and the Because Monday heading. I always mark them as an announcement so you can find it quite easily. Leave me a comment on that post and you'll be entered in the draw to win this gorgeous chart. I love it. Okay, so that's the chart for this week's giveaway. And good luck. I love giving stuff away. I know that I'm slow to send it out, but just the thought that someone else is going to get it and receive it and love it and be happy that they got something fun in their mailbox and not, you know, another bill. We all get lots of those in our mailboxes. Okay, so next up, I made myself a list today. Oh yes, okay. So I need to talk about the music for my podcast. I talked about this briefly a few weeks ago because I'd made a mistake on an episode. I don't even remember what number it was. And it was like within the last month where I mistakenly played my intro music twice. And I didn't drop the volume down enough the second time that it played. And so some people left me comments saying, I can't really hear you when your music is playing. It's a bit distracting, so on and so forth. And, you know, I sort of chalked that all up to that was the mistake that I'd made. And yes, I knew there was a problem, but I thought it was only with that video. But that, you know, I like having music at the beginning of my podcast because I'm a musician, so I'm a fan. I'm a fan of the music. So I thought I was being pretty careful with dropping down the volume at the beginning of the podcast while I'm starting talking, and I just let the music, the intro music, play out instead of cutting it off. But then I got another comment on a different video last week, and someone left me a comment and said, I would love to watch your Flosstube, but I find it really distracting when your music is playing and I can't really hear what you're saying. And, you know, we're human, right? We're all human. And so my initial knee-jerk reaction was, the music only plays for 3 minutes. It's not that long, you know, and I love it. So can't you just skip forward a few minutes? Because, you know, I'm sorry you can't hear me. And then I thought, you know, right, okay. So someone is offering a criticism here, but perhaps you're taking it in such a way that they don't intend it. So let's try to act in such a way that we would want to model behavior for our children. Because, you know, sometimes I have the tendency to react quickly, and sometimes I just like to step back and think, okay, is this really what's going on here? So when I really thought about it, I thought, she's not saying she hates my music, because that's what we think, right? She hates my music, she hates me, I stink, I'm the worst ever. You know, and everything just explodes in your mind like it's 100 times worse than it is, right? We make a mountain out of a molehill. And I'm equally as guilty of doing that as everyone else. And that's also, you know, you start thinking about the online internet culture and fights that happen in, you know, especially like online news forums and, you know, people flaming each other and trolling. And it's just all of this really awful negative stuff. And I know a lot of that is because of these knee-jerk reactions, because we get defensive when we think that someone is criticizing us and we think we're right and we think we're, you know, wonderful and, you know, the problem is with you, it's not with me. So I really thought about it. I thought, okay, what is she really trying to say here? She's not telling me that the music is terrible and that she hates my guts and the music stinks and I'm an awful podcaster and she's never going to watch again. No. What she's saying is she has trouble hearing my voice when it's with the music. Okay, fair enough. So then I thought, if one person is saying it, chances are really good that there's more than one person having the same problem. So perhaps you should do some market research here and figure out what's going on. So I put up a poll in the Facebook group and I said, okay, so I've had this comment. Is there anybody else out there having similar issues, or is it just one or a couple of people and this really isn't an issue at all? And I got the best feedback. Okay, now you have to go into that. Like when you ask a question like that, you have to be prepared that, you know, not everybody's going to say, yeah, you're amazing. You know, go for it. Do whatever you want. Some people are, and that's great because, you know, you want to hear that, but you also really want to figure out what's going on and get to the root of the problem. So you have to think, okay, if I'm going to get criticized or not criticized, if people are going to offer constructive criticism, then you need to listen and not just not listen. You know what I mean? I'm wording this badly. Okay, so I got lots of feedback, really good feedback. And in a nutshell, it's not just one or two people, it's a bunch of people. A bunch of people really are distracted when there's even really quiet music playing in the background when I'm talking. And I'm not going to talk about any other Flosstubers or any other podcasts that have music. I am simply strictly keeping this to me and how I edit and do the music in this podcast. So I'm not speaking to anybody else. Because for me, I never notice it. I love music. It's part of it, and I don't notice it, but others do. And so then I started asking a few more questions, which reminds me, Bess, if you're watching this, you had left me a comment about how my music is really, really loud when you open it up. And I had asked you whether the music of the YouTube ads was louder than my music. And if you could leave me an answer below, I'd appreciate that, because I cut off the comments on the Facebook post once I had enough market research to figure out what was going on. And I don't think I ever actually got an answer to my question to you. So if you could let me know, that would be great. So in a nutshell, I then asked someone who said, yes, it really bothers me. I then asked, what about movies and TV? When you watch movies and TV, does the music that's in that, does that bother you? Can you still hear the words of people talk? Because let's face it, if you've ever tried to watch a movie and removed the soundtrack, it's empty. I mean, it's totally empty. And so I wanted to know whether this, you know, how everything's sort of interrelated with each other, because I find it really interesting. And the answer was actually fascinating. The answer was no, it doesn't really bother me as much. But I think that I listen to Flosstube differently than I listen to movies and TVs. That was the answer that I received from asking the question. And I thought, okay, that's really interesting. So you are listening to me, which is incredibly flattering that you want to actually hear what I'm saying, and it's distracting when there's any kind of music playing underneath my voice. Now, that's for some people. Other people don't notice it at all. Other people don't care, whatever. But there's a large enough percentage of population that it does bother, so that I am going to remove it from my voice. That was a really long way to say I'm going to remove it from any time. From the time my voice starts at the beginning of me talking to you, there won't be any music. But I love my music. I love it. Because to me, it's like, hey, something really good is about to happen, and we're going to get to have a visit and a chat and talk about stitching, and it's going to be cool. But not during while I'm talking. So that's fine. So one thing that I used to do a lot more of, that I kind of got out of the routine of doing, and frankly, it was when I kind of added in the mailbag, because the mailbag took up so much time that I didn't have enough time to really have fun with the beginning of the podcast, which is more what I used to do. And hopefully, if all works out well today, you'll see what I mean. I put a little bit more personal stuff at the beginning of the podcast while I let some of the music play. And I love to add in screen caps because it's fun. It's just fun to do while I'm editing, and, you know, sort of make fun of myself, or, you know, share a few things that have happened during my week that are sort of outside of the norm of what we're going to talk about in the podcast. And it's just fun. And I haven't really done that in a while. And I used to do it all the time, and I miss it. So that's when I'll play my music. There won't be any talking. It'll just be screen caps, and it won't be 3 minutes long. You know, just a little bit at the beginning. And, you know, we'll have a little bit of fun with the music, and then we'll get right into the stitching and the talking with no music. So I'm going to be quiet now, because I've gone on long enough about this issue. And I think we all we all can, you know, find a middle ground here with what's going to work. And I just wanted to say thank you to anyone who left me a comment constructively criticizing the voice with the music. I appreciate it. Okay, so I see that my daughter has come home, so I'm gonna pause this video. I'm gonna pop in a little ad from YouTube right here, and I'll be back in a few minutes with my whips. Just a minute. It's a bit cheeky of me, wasn't it, to put an ad in before I've even shown you my whips? So, thank you. I'm drinking out of my Christmas mug today, and I'm even drinking Christmas tea. This is one of the Stash holiday teas, Christmas in Paris. It's my favorite. I buy them in like, you know, millions at a time because I don't like to run out. So it's a little bit of Christmas cheer this morning, which is kind of, it's almost gone. So it'll be time for a new cup soon. All right, I'm gonna get into what I've been working on this week. It has been an emotional roller coaster the last week. So I have really just wanted stitching that is easy to pick up and put down after just 1 or 2 stitches. I've also, I put in a few rows of knitting into my daughter's Afghan. I'm not gonna share that today. It looks pretty similar to what it looked like the last time I showed it because the rows are so long. So the only cross stitch whip that I worked on this week was Savon, which is one of those landmark charts. Tapesta Pillow collection. Again, CelticHobbies.com is pretty much the only place you can buy these charts from. And Claire is amazing. So I wholeheartedly recommend her shop if you're looking for these style of patterns, geometric designs, things that are a little bit unusual that you like to stitch, that I like to stitch. Anyways, okay, so this is where I'm at. This is what I got done. So not a lot, probably another 600 stitches in the last week. So it's not a ton, but it's actually progress that I can see. So I think I was over here last time I showed this. I think I had the outline of this first motif done here. So that's all, this is all now done. So this is now filled in, and I've started the oatmeal border that comes along the top here that starts the inside border of this section here. It sort of mirrors this side line here that goes up. If you can see that those oatmeal stitches carry up the side there. So again, that's there, and then this side of the border ends right there. So it kind of goes up the side. These motifs do not carry up this border here. This is a bit different, but there are 4 of these across the bottom here, and then mirrored again at the top of the chart. But these sides are different. So that's where I'm at. So about another 600 stitches put in there, and that's what it's looking like so far. So when you hold it back here, you can, you know, the coverage is really quite good. This is a 16 count Aida, just slightly off white. It's got a bit of a fleck in it. It's certainly not a pure white. By fleck, I mean like a natural, more of a natural color. I don't know if you can see it, but it's like an off-white. And then when you get it really close, you can see that, especially where the black is, you know, you can see the odd little bit of fabric peeping through. But overall, and the other 5 that I've stitched in this series, once they're framed and hung on the wall, you don't notice that at all. You just notice this gorgeous design. So I'm loving it, and it's been the perfect kind of stitching. It's been comfort stitching in a nutshell. Comfort stitching, which is, you know, one of the reasons why we do this, right? It just gets us through. Okay, so that's all I worked on this week. That's all I have to share. I've talked about here before that I was joining in with the 24-hour of cross stitch June monthly challenge. I am dropping out of that. I don't think I need to let Jen know. I'm just not going to enter my chart at the end of the month. I believe she's going to be doing a different challenge in the month of July, which I may try again. I may try again in July. June is just proving to be too much. It's just too much, too much of everything. My daughter is graduating high school. There is, her prom is next week. She has just started her very first kind of grown-up summer job. My son is finishing school. Tomorrow night is my very last night of teaching ever, piano teaching ever. So, emotionally, that and everything that's been going on with the dog lately, I don't want to feel like I'm failing at something else. I don't want to feel like I'm failing at doing this challenge. It was supposed to be something fun, and it is something fun, and I don't want it to become something that I feel bad about not completing for myself. So I may try again in July, because it's so much, people are having so much fun with it, and that's what I would like it to be for me. And right now, at this particular month of time in my life, it's just not working. So I'm going to be dropping out. I know it was I was linking it into my high tea for June. I'm just going to, I am going to celebrate my stash for the rest of June for my June high tea. I'm just going to do what I did in May and just stitch what I want when I want. And I am just celebrating the fact that I can do that. So that's nice. Okay, I do have some show and tell, some spectacular show and tell from a member of the Facebook group. I did ask her before if it would be okay if I could share this on Flosstube, because oh my goodness, it's amazing. Okay, so Diana Lee is a member of our Friday Off the Group Facebook group, and yesterday she posted a photo of an amazing finish that she just finished. And this is a kit by Riolis, and it's a very, very, very famous piece of artwork called The Kiss by G.Klimt. And I'm going to insert a picture here of Diana's amazing finish, and then a photograph of her daughter, who is an elementary school art teacher, and Diana stitched it and gave it to her daughter. And the smile on her daughter's face, you can tell that she loves it. So please enjoy these photos, because Diana, I thought your finish was spectacular, and I hope everybody out there in Flosstube land just, can't quite believe that you managed to finish all of those beautiful stitches. It's gorgeous, it's stunning, and congratulations. So enjoy. Isn't that phenomenal? Didn't her daughter look happy? Diana looked pretty happy too. I thought those were just wonderful photos. So Diana, thank you for sharing those on the Facebook group, and thank you for letting me share them here. Just a word about that kit. I did look it up because I knew that people would be interested in where to find it. I did find it for sale in a few different locations, one of those being 123 Stitch. It is sold as a full kit. Now, it is a Riolis kit, so you should know that it does come with that wool acrylic yarn blend as the blend that is stitched with. You may remember if you watched Ginger Gerald stitch his Snowy Owl, that was the same thing. It's the Riolis kit with that sort of yarn blend that you stitch with. But I've heard from numerous people who said they didn't mind at all working with it. In fact, they enjoyed it. So, but just so you should be aware, it's not a cotton sort of DMC or anchor thread or floss that you're receiving with the kit. It is the traditional wool blend that you get with those Riolis kits. And again, 123 Stitch is where I saw that it was for sale, and a very reasonable price for a kit, for a full kit. And I mean, isn't that finish stunning? Stunning. Okay, so that takes care of whips and everything. I'm not doing it from the mailbag section. I'm going to, for the next little while, I'm just gonna have to postpone from the mailbag. And I'll, you know, if people want it to come back, maybe, you know, leave me a few comments and maybe we'll do it in the future when I have a little bit more time, when life isn't doing this all over the place, and we'll bring it back. And don't forget, question from Kyle, that will also be coming back, I'm sure. I'll probably, even if I don't do it from a mailbag, I'll try to do a question from Kyle next week, if he's feeling up to maybe giving me a new question this week, because I couldn't find his old question that he asked me last time that I never answered, because we're going back a few videos and a few hundred comments. Okay, I have a shop update today. www.evertote.com is the place where I sell my project bags, and if you're not interested at all in project bags, we can say goodbye now. I am done with all of my whips and all that other stuff. And for those of you who are interested, I've got a few new things to share. So one of the bags that I've had on the site since last summer, and I've been meaning to do a few more of these because, well, they're super cute. So this is one that's been on the site for a while. So this is a small bag, and this cabbage rose print is so pretty, and it's just got a simple lining, matches the sort of taupe in the leaf here of the outer flower. So this is a small bag. Now, I had this marked as fitting a 6 by 6 inch square, which it does nicely, or for hoop stitchers, or for, you know, even this will even hold a laptop. Now, all of cases on laptops are different sizes, so I don't make a promise that it will fit your laptop. It fits my laptop, iPad, not a laptop. So it will fit, and it fits my iPad. Whether or not it fits your iPad with your case in it, I'm not sure. However, makes a great cross stitch bag. Then I've been wanting to make a few more in a few different prints. So I made one last night, and I thought, oh, this is really cute. And I thought, those dimensions, it should fit my 8-inch square Q-snap. And why I had never thought to try this with this bag last year, which I also love, I don't know why it never crossed my mind. So I did it this morning, and sure enough, it fits an 8-inch Q-snap, an 8-inch square Q-snap. So this is my new bag, and notice I said my new bag because this is my new bag, and I have this listed in the shop now. This is so it is a small. It's just a small, and I'm just selling it like this. There's no notions tote that goes with it. If you want one, I would happily make you one. I've put a red zip with it because there are red letters on the bobbins. It's got a very, it's a tone-on-tone white liner. Do you want to see the whip that I have in here? Because I'll tell you, this one's one I'm going to get back to. This is my Ink Circles tapestry, which really, I mean, why am I not done this already? I don't know. That's what it's going to look like when it's done. Why am I not finished this? It's stunning. So there, you got a little bit more cross stitch out of me today. But no new progress on that in a long time. So that's the small bag. I've got everything in there, and it fits perfectly. My 8-inch square Q-snap, who knew? This fabric is so cute. This fabric is a cotton and steel, and if you look really closely at these spools, they all say something different. This one says nimble fingers. Where's the other one? What is this one again? I can't remember. Tightly wound. Tightly wound. It's hard to read these backwards. So there's the cotton and steel logo there. What else? Measure twice, cut once. What was the other one? Cut and sew. Sew with love. Sew with love. So I hope you like the new small bags. You will start probably seeing a few more of them offered up for grabs in the shop, because I think they're a really useful size. You know, it's handy to have a few of these tucked into your larger bag to separate your different projects up and not have the sort of bigger bags with multiple projects in them. You can actually fit one of these inside one of the other project bags. So that's a new bag, the small. I have 2 other fabrics that are new in the shop this week. The first one is a Rifle Paper Co. Floral print. This is the print. Now it's hard to see, but this gold here is a metallic. So that's actually, there you go. That's a metallic. So if you're not a fan of shiny, it's a little bit shiny, and I think it's super pretty, but it is a gold, a little bit blingy, beautiful print. So yeah, Rifle Paper Co. That's the Notions pouch. And I've paired it with this beautiful blue on the bottom. I'm going to tell you a little bit more about this fabric in a minute. So this is a medium size. Sorry, the light, it's very bright in here today. So these colors are not really true to form. They're pretty close, but you know, it's hard to see. We've got the pale robin's egg blue, pink, darker pink, and then that metallic that actually looks a little bit green, but it's not. It's a gold metallic. And the lining in this is, again, it's a tone on tone with a little polka dot print on the inside there. I love to use a white liner. It's probably my preferred liner to use, only because of personal preference. I love to have good vision into my bag, and I find with the white fabric on the inside, I can see everything. Everything sort of shows up inside your bag. So if you're looking for a particular color of thread, or you know, you lost your needle minder at the bottom, it's easy to find. So again, and this is the large size. So that's the large size. There's the medium. And again, these have been sitting in a stack. They need a bit of a press. However, they also need to be filled with treasures. This set comes with the Notions pouch. It also comes with a fabric covered needle magnet. So that's part of that set there. So those are on the site. And the second new fabric, well, I guess the third new fabric, because I've also got the small bag, is a cloud print. And I've got this in 3 different styles. So I've got a wedge tote. And you're going to notice that I've used the same fabric on the bottom that I used on the floral print as well. So this one's got a strap. This sweet, I love these clouds. These clouds make me happy. And the liner on this one is a very pale gray, light floral print. So again, a lighter print on the inside. I really try not to use a dark fabric on the inside. Again, the whole thing with being able to see what you've got in there. So a gray that matches some of the gray in the clouds. So dreamy. Love it. So that's the wedge tote. That's a medium wedge tote. Medium wedge tote fits an 8-inch square Q-snap. I've also been able to shove an 8x11 in there, but not with a grime guard. With the grime guard on it, it's a bit snug, but you can definitely get an 8-inch square plus pattern plus, you know, plastic bobbin box, Notions tote, all that other malarkey. I know I've said this before. It comes with it's a 6-inch square Notions pouch. All of these sets. So this is the flat one. So that's the cross stitch flat. The wedge tote, I have both stitchers and knitters that like to use it. It's just a question of preference, whether you like to be able to have a little bit of extra room in the bottom. So because the wedge tote, of course, opens up into that boxed bottom. So that's sort of opened up there. Dreamy. So yeah, this fabric that I used on the bottom is so cool. I know it doesn't look cool, but it is cool. Trust me. You may notice, I'm not sure that this is going to show up, but if I showed you all of these bags side by side with the bottoms, can you see that this blue is a slightly different color than this blue? Can you see that? I'm not sure. So this one is a little bit paler than this blue. That's because this fabric is a gradient. How cool is that? This fabric, and I saved the, oh, what's that called? You know, I use this word all the time. Selvage, the selvage on the end, is Gradient Basics. Melody Miller. She designed some beautiful, beautiful stuff. So, and made in Japan, cotton and steel. I love this. Like, cotton and steel is really, it always feels nice in your hands. So this was a gradient fabric. So it kind of started with one shade of blue, and then it kind of, as you progressed across the 45 inches of fabric, it went darker to the other side. So having to pair up two pieces for one bag, because I cut them in pairs, right? So when you cut it in pairs, you've got one side, one piece is a paler blue, then the other side, which is a darker blue. Well, that's not really going to work in a bag. So we had to repair them. I had to repair them with the next strip, so matching them up with one color, and then the back sides of those would then be matched up for another bag. So that was kind of cool. There also is, throughout the print, there is a fleck. Can you see that? It's almost like, you know, when you have hand-dyed cross-stitch fabric where sometimes you'll get a little slub or something. It's not really a slub, but it's a little bit of something in the fabric, and it just, so it's kind of, it's not on every piece, but it's on some of the pieces. It's really kind of random, and I kind of find that charming. So you may, this medium wedge tote has one. I'm not sure you can see it. It's kind of right there. So it kind of makes each bag a little bit unique. Some of them have them, some of them don't, and it's just kind of fun. But just in case you do get it and you're like, why is that little bit of fluff there? It's not fluff, it's just part of the fabric. And that's it. That's all she wrote for today. Okay, so shop update's done. Oh, one more thing. I just saw that I had left it there and forgot to show you. The spool bag, the small one, the one that has the spools on it, cotton and steel spools. Those bags are going to come with a scissor charm. I thought that was appropriate because they're very sweet. If you would like that spool fabric in a larger bag, just send me a message. I'm happy to make those in either a medium or a large. They will all come with a scissor charm. I also, because there's that bit of red in it, if you want a matching notions pouch, I've got that red scissor print, and I can make a coordinating notions pouch out of that scissor print that's the red fabric. I thought that might look quite nice. Anyways, so that's it for regular stuff. So now just a little brief life update, and then I'll leave you for today. The dog. This last week has been the highest of highs and the lowest of lows. You know, I mentioned last week she was diagnosed with very early stage bone cancer because of a limp that I took her to the vet and they x-rayed, and that was the eventual diagnosis of this. But again, according to the vet, very, very, very early stages of this. So the vet gave me basically a painkiller for the dog to give to her. Not that she necessarily needed it, but she thought it might help with her mobility. Okay, so fast forward a week, the dog has been on this painkiller, and she's going downhill fast, like fast. I recorded that video last week on Monday and told you about her diagnosis. On Wednesday afternoon, I called the vet and I booked an appointment to take her in on Thursday and say goodbye. We were going to have her put down last Thursday. That's how quickly she seemed to just deteriorate. She was struggling a lot more with her mobility. She was just acting She was so lethargic. She was sleeping all day, but she was also drinking a lot. It was just, you know, you look at an animal and you just know it's time to say goodbye. It's just time to say goodbye. So Wednesday night, I didn't give her the dose of painkiller because, you know, at that point I was like, she's so out of it. I'm not sure this is really, you know, doing anything, whether it's doing more harm than good. And I just, you know what, I just thought, let's leave her because I'd like to be able to say goodbye tomorrow and, you know, whatever. I didn't give it to her. Thursday morning, she seemed to have improved. Like, instead of the decline, we got to put her down. Thursday morning, it was like we started seeing the spark of her a week ago. And all of a sudden, you start second guessing yourself. What if this is too soon? What if this is too soon? And I regret doing this too soon, because, you know, you're always going to regret not doing it soon enough, right? And Rose, I believe it was Rose, sent me everybody has been sending me beautiful comments and kindness and gestures, and just thank you so much. And I believe it was Rose who sent me the phrase, it's better a week too early than a day too late, which I truly believe in. I do not want her to suffer, period. I don't want her to suffer. And I'm prepared to say goodbye when it's time. But this is a dog who is still eating, still drinking, still wagging her tail, and Thursday morning, still getting up to greet us when we come into the kitchen. So, and according to our vet, the vet didn't think it was quite time, you know, when she'd seen her the week before. But again, a week had passed, and you get what I mean, right? So I called the vet and I said, okay, I think that the painkiller that she was on was maybe making her worse than she was, because she's always been really sensitive to medication. And I think that this narcotic was really so powerful that I think it was really affecting her mobility to a point where it was making her worse than she was. So the vet said, well, yeah, you know, she has a history. I can see it here in the file of she didn't handle this other medication a few years back. She didn't handle that very well. So let's take her off that, and, you know, we'll cancel the appointment this afternoon. Let's try her on a lighter dose medication. So by the time I got the next type of medication, she'd been off the other painkiller for 2 days, because she didn't start taking, no, it was a day and a half. And again, she was perking up. She was a lot more like herself. More alert, walking more, getting up more, you know, still able to go outside and do her own thing. Fine. So then I go ahead and I put her back. I put her on the next medication that's much lighter. Vet says she should be able to tolerate this. It should help. It had the exact same effect within a day. Within a day, I'm like, here we go again. She's going downhill. She's not moving. She's not wanting to do anything. Call the vet. This is time to call the vet. I didn't actually call the vet. I thought, let's take her off this medication and see what happens. Sure enough, she's back to herself. She is back to where she was when I initially took her into the vet with just a limp. She is like a senior citizen with bad knees. Now, I know she has bone cancer, if that's what this is, okay? That's what they tell me it is. But if it's such a beginning stages of it, it's definitely mixed in with some arthritis. Do you see what I mean? So it's been this emotional, I don't want to regret saying goodbye to her if we could still have a month or two left of good time. You know, I am not going to let her be in pain. But when she's at rest, she's not in pain. When she's walking, she is not making her pain noises. I know what they are. You know, I've heard her make them. She's walking with a limp. And, you know, I sometimes have trouble going down the stairs. She has a little bit of difficulty going down the stairs, but she's still able to do it by herself. It's just 2 that she has to navigate. Going upstairs, she's fine. Same with me. I can go upstairs fine, but I always have more trouble going downstairs. So anyways, we're kind of at a standstill at the moment. Who knows what tomorrow's going to bring? It's all just been a huge roller coaster. But, you know, she's still with me. She's still she wants to be my shadow. She wants to come down here. I'm recording this. She's sound asleep in the kitchen. Again, she's a senior citizen. She naps hard. And she's deaf, so she can't hear me. So otherwise, I would be recording in the kitchen so that we can hang out. I moved my stitching chair into the kitchen. So because she's such a sociable dog, she loves being with me. I think that's been really hard on her to be relegated to the kitchen. So I now, when I craft, and I craft a lot, I sit in the kitchen with her and we hang out. And all of my cutting for Evertote, I do that in the kitchen. You know, cooking, cleaning, all that kind of other stuff that happens in the kitchen. So we're still hanging out just as much as we always have. It's just more on her terms rather than on mine. And for the foreseeable future, that's how we'll carry on. Now, depending on how long this goes, this could greatly affect my summer. You know, and I am starting to think about that now because we're only a couple of weeks away. I won't be moving to the cottage if Daria is still with me because she can't navigate the rocks or the boat or the stairs that are there. And I'm not going to get rid of a family member just for my own convenience and enjoyment so that I can go to the cottage. You know, she's part of my family. I take care of her. And at the moment, it is what it is. And so I may still be staying here for a little while longer while we enjoy the end of our time together. So, you know, it is a sad thing. But it's been a week and such emotional ups and downs that I think it's been a lot easier to come to terms with it over the last day, where it's been, okay, it's not such an immediate thing, perhaps, but when it is time to say goodbye, I'll be ready. Does that make sense? Because I feel like we've been kind of gifted a little bit of extra time while she's still happy. So anyways, thank you so much for everyone who sent kind messages. You all made me cry. And it was extremely kind. And you know, she's a dog. I recognize that she is a dog. She is not you know, a parent or a sibling or a child. She's an important member of my family, but I am blessed that the remainder of my family is healthy. So those of you who are dealing with your own losses, your own illnesses, and, you know, people close to you, animals close to you that are struggling, I hope you know that I am also thinking of you and wishing you the best in the days ahead. So thank you so much. Happy Monday. Happy Flosstube watching. Enjoy. There are some amazing, so many videos out there for us to enjoy and watch. People putting their work up for us to enjoy. Happy stitching. I will probably see you on Friday for a Friday off the grid. That's my plan. My plan at the moment. I've got my stitching chair set up in the kitchen, and I am hoping to record a Friday video later this week. So we'll see you then. Happy stitching.